Hey friends, welcome back to the Moms That Read YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all things Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez and I've read all of her books. If you've listened to any of our podcasts, you know that we are such big Abby fans. And so with her new book coming out this month, I just finished reading it and I kind of wanted to rank all of her books to show you kind of like where they lie in my scale. So if you're a reader who likes the same type of books I do, this might give you an idea of which ones to start with. But I do have more of the books that I think that are my favorites of hers that I would recommend reading first. So to start, we're going to go with my favorite book of hers to my least favorite book of hers. And my favorite book that she has written is Just for the Summer. And I love this one because I feel like I relate to it a lot. This is Emma and Justin's story. Emma suffers from a lot of anxiety, and her and Justin met on, I think it was something like Craigslist or something. Craigslist ad. But anyways, it ends up being whoever Emma and Justin date, the next person that person ends up dating finds their soulmate. So whoever Emma breaks up with ends up finding their soulmate, and whoever Justin breaks up with ends up finding their soulmate. So they come up with this plan to date each other. That way when they break up, they both find their soulmate. But it ended up being they were each other's soulmate, which I think is just so sweet because me and my husband met online, so I just think it's fun. And this is a lot of emotional baggage and a lot of, well, all of Abby's books are like real and kind of heavy, but this one, if you have anxiety or you have like a not great home, this one hits hard. So, but I loved it. Okay, my second favorite book is Yours Truly. This one is, it's tied, I think, for first place. I love Just for the Summer and Yours Truly the most, and if I would to recommend any two books to read of Abby's, it would be one of these two. Now this is Brianna and Jacob. So theirs is more of like a workplace romance. There's fake dating, there's one bed for my girls who like the one bed trope, but Jacob is like socially awkward, like very socially awkward, and he doesn't know how to communicate, so he comes off as very rude. So Brianna and Jacob hate each other until he writes her a letter, and then they start writing letters back and forth because that's the best way for him to communicate. But then they end up having like lunches in the supply closet and stuff like that, and it is so cute. But Brianna is going through a divorce and her brother needs a kidney. So it ends up being Jacob finds out about that and donates the brother a kidney, but there's so much more to the story. Like the ending is kind of wild and I did not see that one coming, but highly recommend this one. Number 3 on my list is the Happily Ever After playlist. This one, the one before this one broke my heart for Sloan. So in this one, Sloan is grieving the loss of her fiance and it's really sad, but she finds a puppy and puppy makes her happy, so she decides to keep it, and she tries to reach out to the owner on the tag. No answer. He finally answers. Turns out he's a musician on tour, and he wants the dog back when he comes back, and so they end up texting, and so they end up texting a lot, and whenever he comes to pick the dog up, they meet and like it's love. It's so cute. It's very, I'd say it's one of her more like cheesy meet cutes, but Sloan is so upset and sad, so I feel like this was about the only way to correctly handle like her accidentally falling in love was over text, because she wasn't going to do it in person when she was still grieving the loss of her fiance 2 years after the fact. So I really enjoyed this one, as I did all of her books, but this one was so sweet. Number 4 on my list is Life's Too Short. This one follows Vanessa and Adrian. So Vanessa was like a blogger on TikTok and YouTube, and she might have a disease that will take her life by the time she's 30, because her mom and her aunt, I think, is it aunt or sister? Her mom and sister did not live to see 30. And so she has like a 50-50 chance of inheriting ALS. And if she does, then it's likely she'll die by 30. So she just lives life to the fullest, started vlogging it, and that's how she gained a following. Well, she ended up getting custody of her half-sister's baby. And so she has to stay home for that and take care of the baby. Now, her half-sister didn't inherit this because they were related by dad, not by mom. So it ends up just being like the neighbor ended up owning the building, but he lived in the building next door to Vanessa, and he heard the baby crying and would come over and help, and then he started helping a lot more. And then she didn't want to get close to anybody because she was scared that she might have inherited the disease, but he didn't care. He was this sweet workaholic who adopted a geriatric dog in diapers. Like, what more can you ask for from a man? I love this one. So the next one is number 5, and it's The Fall Risk. The only reason I didn't rate this one higher is because it was one of her short stories, and I wish it would have been a full book, but it follows Charlotte and Seth, which Charlotte was not upset about because she said it was the safest she's felt since she's been being stalked, because there was no way to get to her. So she kind of lets loose a little bit and gets to know Seth. Well, I'm not going to spoil the end of the story because it's a short story, but you should definitely read it. I think that it's on Kindle Unlimited, like a 2-hour audiobook, and it took me about an hour and a half to read on Kindle Unlimited, but it's so fun. And I don't know how she got all of that into a short story. Number 6 is Part of Your World. This follows Daniel and Alexis. I don't know why this one wasn't my favorite, but it just didn't stick out to me as much as the other ones. It's like a reverse age gap where she's older by like 10 years. He runs an Airbnb left in his family, and she runs into a ditch and has to stay at the Airbnb for a few days. She does not want to follow her family's legacy. She just wants to be an ER doctor. Overall, I thought this one was sweet. I just didn't love it as much as the other ones. It's still a good one and a fun read, and I highly recommend you read it because all of the characters, they're all interconnected standalones, but this one just wasn't one of the top ones for me. Number 7 is Say You'll Remember Me, and I know this one just came out, but I didn't love it. This was one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and it just didn't hit for me. I know some people, you either love it or you hate this book. I didn't hate it, I just didn't love it. It just wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know. I feel like, and I did an in-depth review on this on our Instagram and TikTok. I just feel like it was very repetitive, and there's only so much you can do with long distance because they are long distance in here. And so I feel like this would have been a better short story like she writes rather than a full-blown story, because I feel like it would have made more sense as a short story since they are long distance and there's only so many different ways you can say I miss you. But I also didn't like some of the family things at the end that the dad did. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I just felt like there was a few things that I would have liked to see be done differently, and a lot of plot bombs that I wish would have happened toward the middle of the book rather than the end of the book. And I think that's the main reason I didn't like it, was I feel like the plot was all mixed up, but I absolutely loved the main characters. Xavier, I feel like everybody's gonna love him as a book boyfriend. And Samantha was great as well. I feel like my issue lies within the plot. I don't feel like this was a very good plot in the book. And number 8 is The Friend Zone. Now, this is one book that I kind of liked until the end again. I don't know. This is Kristen and Josh. Kristen and Josh meet and become friends. basically it was like instant attraction, but she knew that she couldn't be with him because he wanted a big family and she was not able to have kids because she had a lot of issues with, I think, fibroids and stuff, and she needed a hysterectomy because her period and cramps were just so uncomfortable. She was down and out for a full week and she was bleeding, just having a lot of health issues with that, and needed a hysterectomy. And she wasn't able to get pregnant because of like fibroids and stuff anyways. So it ends up, she tries to push him away. He's like, no, I don't care. But he also doesn't know that she can't have kids. So the part that icked me out was he was saying how he wanted 5 to 9 biological kids, which is just, you do you, boo-boo, but that's just weird. Why would you say biological anyways? And then she wasn't telling him that she couldn't have kids, but they were still, you know, doing the dirty. But you're going to lead him on and y'all are going to fall for each other when neither one of y'all are being truthful. And I think that's why I hated it, was because I just really hate a severe miscommunication trope like that. Like, that just irritates me. And so I feel like the story would have been great if they would have just told each other, or like not drug it out as long, and then they adopted some kids in the end or something. Like, not him saying, oh, all of my kids have to be biological, I want a football team, because that just rubbed me the wrong way. Anyways, I still read it. I thought it was okay. I think it's about a 3-star out of 5, so I wouldn't say don't read that one, but any of her other books are better than The Friend Zone. So, but I feel like if you want to know the other characters that you're introduced to in that book, then read it. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are constantly working on new things for you guys. And comment down below what your favorite Abby Jimenez book is. Bye!